Welcome to the MeterMATE introduction video. Today we're going to discuss the MeterMATE, how it's used, how it's calibrated, and how to operate it. When you open your MeterMATE box, you should receive the MeterMATE, the 12-foot suction hose, the calibration tube, the calibration container, 25-foot discharge hose, a flush kit, manure nozzle coupler. The first section we want to cover is proper setup. Here on the table we have the MeterMATE pump set up where we have a flooded suction coming from the product tank. This eliminates any air from being drawn into the system and causing any priming problems. Second, we want to make sure that we have a good power supply connected to this. Please have your MeterMATE connected directly to the battery or directly to a wall, depending if you have a 12 volt or 110 volt system. The manure nozzle and the weld coupler come standard with each kit. The weld coupler is simply welded into the suction pipe of a dragline application or onto the load stand of a wagon type application. Welding this coupler into either of those positions allows a manure nozzle to be simply threaded in to the coupler and used as an injection point into the manure line. Now that we have the pump properly set up, we want to open all our suction valves and suction lines. We want to allow product to flow through the strainer, through the valve, down through the bottom, and bleed out this poly valve. So I'm just going to simply open it up, allowing product and water to flow through. Once product and water has flown through, what I want to do is I want to turn on the pump, and I'm going to press this dial down and turn it till you get to 100. That's going to allow for the maximum pump displacement, allowing us to easily catch our prime. Now that I have my MeterMATE set up and primed, I have a discharge hose extending from the pump outlet back to the product tank. What I'm going to first off do is start with our manual instructions and calculate out how many ounces per minute I'm going to need for this pump to discharge according to my miles per hour and my toolbar width. To begin the calibration procedure, I want to simply fill up my calibration tube. Start off by removing the plug at the top of the calibration tube, open this valve, and open all the product valves going to your tank. If your pump is set up, mounted in the proper position, the head pressure from the product tank should fill this calibration tube as you see here with the water. Now that our calibration tube is filled with product, we want to close our product valve and open our calibration tube valve. What we're going to do is turn on the pump, and once it reaches a certain ounces, we're going to start timing it for 1 minute. After 1 minute, we're going to record how many ounces are remaining in here. The delta that was used is your ounces applied during that 1 minute period. If your ounces are too high, then you want to recalibrate at a lower setting here on the dial. If your ounces were too low, then you want to reset it to a higher setting and repeat the calibration process again. The calibration adjustment is adjusted by this dial here. Simply press down and turn. Most often it is easiest to do this while the pump is running. Don't forget at the end of your calibration period to turn this thumb screw in, locking down this knob. I also recommend calibrating this dial at a couple different settings. That way, as your application speed changes, the operator can simply come back to the pump and adjust the dial based on today's application speed. Now that the MeterMATE has been properly calibrated, it's simply to turn the pump on and off as the dragline application is being applied. Flushing and cleaning your MeterMATE system is very important. To complete the flushing process, simply use the flush coupler coupled directly to a hose, plugs directly into the suction line of the MeterMATE, allowing water pressure to be flushed through, flushing the pump clean of any product. Winterization of the MeterMATE is also very important. Simply fill a couple gallons of RV antifreeze into the product tank, allowing the RV antifreeze to flow throughout the MeterMATE, turning on the MeterMATE pump and allowing it to pump through. Allowing the RV antifreeze to sit in the MeterMATE pump over winter is just fine.